Hi, this is Willie. My recording got really messed up last night. I kind of fell asleep halfway through it anyway, but I wasn't really much of a contributor. So just let them talk. Let my friends have a good time. Jeff, Nathan, and Dalton had a great recording, and ignore me. You don't miss me that much. I'll be back a couple times in this episode with re-recorded segments, but you don't miss me that much. Love you. Have a good show.
Ride 'em, cowboy.
This week on the Steam Machine Podcast, rootin', tootin', horse hoof scootin' and shootin'. We redempted some reds this week, boys, and there ain't many people alive. Cue the music! Beaches in the summertime, apples in the fall. If I can't get the girl I love, I don't want none at all. Shady Grove, my little love, Shady Grove, I know. Shady Grove, my little love, I'm bound for Shady Grove. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Steam Machine Podcast. My name's Dalton, and joining me as always, the Destructo Bros.
Howdy, partner. It's your boy again. Good old Nate.
And I would be Jackie O'Hala. And this week we got a guest with us here, coming straight round from South Texas, Mexico. He is the gunslinger, song singer, wing-a-ding-dinger-ling-pinger, El Jefe. Jefe, how you doing, pal?
Well, howdy, cowboys. What's happening? What's shaking?
I love the Chicago cowboy.
You know, Chicago, South Texas.
For some reason, I pictured you coming in and being like, hello, I am El Jefe. But you went total different route. I love it. Oh, man. Boys, how you doing this week? Jeff, what you been up to, my good sir? Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, guys. First time guest. Not true.
He's got an axe.
I'm doing good. Not this time. I haven't found it yet. But I have a couple tomahawks.
Let's say you're throwing tomahawks yet.
But nothing much has happened since the last time I've been here, which I did look was No Man's Sky almost a year ago. I did quit one of my jobs. During this time. So that's why this was the retail job, the grocery job, and I am so happy to get out of there.
And
I don't know if I had a soul to begin with, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
To add to your good vibe, my good sir, just so you know that No Man's Sky is our most popular episode now. So you are featured on the most popular episode of this podcast by like a wide margin.
Can I get a hell yeah from you guys? 1, 2, 3. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Raise hail, praise Dale.
Raise hail, praise Dale.
Raise hail, praise Dale.
But I'll give you a hell yeah as well.
Apart from that, I'm still planning for a wedding, which is, believe it or not, a few months away.
Wow.
Woo!
Be awkward if I was planning somebody else's. I wouldn't trust Jeff to plan anything for me.
Jeff the wedding planner.
I would not go well at all.
No,
but
the bride has to dress as Crystal.
I asked her, and all she wants is she wanted a specific DJ that plays that's able to play saxophone music. So it's just like, okay, hey, I'm willing to offer to do like the I think like the Lithuanian it's like a cloth tradition where join hands and then the cloth is wrapped around your hands. No, she wants a saxophone. So.
If you do not look at that guy and go, hey man, play that George Michael song. What?
You need to hear Careless Whisper at least one time.
Right. Careless Whisper and what's the other? Baker Street. Or you never know, the DJ might just start busting out some ska. Yeah, that sounds like it'd be fun though, man.
Yeah, it's I'll be glad when everything's over with. But right now life is good. I'm down to one job. Apart from that, video games. Just been playing the game of the week. This episode's game. Been also throwing in some SnowRunner in there. Another truck driving game. Apart from that's about it.
Now that I have my wheel, I've been thinking about loading up Mud Runner and giving that another shot. I feel like it would be a better game when I have the wheel and stuff to use instead of trying to use a controller.
Nice.
Could be wrong, though. Also, what a great name for a game.
Mud Runner.
I did try playing Snow Runner with the wheel. I've got the PlayStation 1, and it's fine. It works fine for what it is. I've wished the wheel would work for Steam, and I could play American Truck Simulator, which I still am playing. But no, Steam doesn't recognize it, so fuck you, Steam.
I bought BeamNG, and what a ridiculous game that is.
That game is satisfying.
Like the crashes in it. I'm like, oh, this takes me back to Burnout back in the day. Like, just your cars just implode.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That's what's up, dude. That's cool how things kind of lead together like that sometimes.
Yep.
What's you, Nate? What you been up to, my good sir?
Yeah, so I know I've been kind of building up to this one for a few weeks now, and finally got my new pet. Yes, Jeff, that is his tank in the background, and I'm about to send some pictures of my new pet. He is... File's not empty. What are you talking about? Okay. Well, chat's being weird right now, but I got a new pet gecko. It's a gargoyle gecko. It's a New Caledonian breed of lizard, and he's just awesome. I'm trying to send some pictures to you guys in chat. I'll post more in the Discord, so join the Discord if you want hot, fresh lizard pics on your computer.
I just want to let you know that I just typed in or started typing in gargoyle gecko into Google. I got to about Gargo and second choice.
Yeah, he's so cool.
That thing looks awesome.
Yeah, so he's about a little bit smaller than the palm of my hand, so he's probably about that big. I do have big hands, so probably the size of a normal person's hand, but just a cute little dude. Been running all around the place. He's actually not been running around that much, but dude, the funniest thing happened when I first got him. So he came in this box that basically said harmless reptile inside, which I thought was the cutest thing ever. So I finally get it home, open him up. He's in one of those little circular bins they put little reptiles in when they ship them. So I'm pulling him out to get him out. I grab him. He jumps in my hand and immediately flies out of my hand, jumps off and runs behind where I have the tank. So I spent a good 2 or 3 minutes chasing this lizard around, trying to pick him back up and get him into his tank. When I finally got him good in my hand. And I have a video of this because Kayla was videoing me when I did it. He just turns around, takes a quick bite at my hand. It's they're small. Their teeth can't hurt a person. So it was just really funny, in all honesty. So I finally get him, put him in his tank, where he's been staying happily for the last, I guess it's been about a week now. So I had my little guy for about a week. Just an adorable little guy. And his name is Dale Doback Earnhardt III. Raise hail, praise Dale.
Tremendous.
I think you should return him because that box said harmless. He bit.
I know, that was the funniest part. It cracked me up so.
That's false advertising.
The first thing I get a box is harmless reptile, and literally the first thing he does is turn around and bite my finger. But like I said, completely harmless, didn't hurt at all. If I didn't see him kind of do it, I don't even know if I would have felt it. But I have a little video of it. I think I sent it to you, Dalton and Willie, the first day I got him. And it's just so funny, but I'm loving having the little guy. He's adorable. He's super good at hiding. Sometimes I'll be where the hell is he? And have to spend 3 or 4 minutes looking around all the nooks and crannies in my tank to find him. Yeah, so I've been really enjoying having him. He's finally getting at ease in the tank, so hopefully I start working on being able to get him to the point where I can handle him fairly soon, but might take a month or so before he gets that comfortable, but we're working on him, and I'm really enjoying having him.
What's up, man? Geckos are cool. Brandy's got 2 of them. So, like, I'm like, man, they're so cool. Not the same kind of gecko. She's got the kind, I don't remember what they're called, but they got really fat tails.
It might be an African fat-tailed gecko. I'm not making that up.
Cute.
That is the name of a gecko.
They're very cute, though. They're very, very cute.
Yeah.
I've always wanted, like, I like dogs and cats and stuff, but geckos are cool. If I ever got one, I'd get a green one and name him Gex because that's just how I am. But
for sure, man.
That would be sweet. But that's what's up, dude. What else you been up to? Or is that your major reveal, your big reveal?
That's the big reveal. Like I said, I'll put some pictures in the Discord probably tomorrow. This is tomorrow from today when we're recording. So after the episode goes live, I'll probably post some pictures. So check it out. That's bit.ly/TSMP Discord, all caps.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What about you, Will? What you been up to? What about your Pixel thing you've been doing? Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm not buying that domain. I don't have Tadpog money. It's a great show. You're a Mishi. If my name's not Kuwabara. Yeah, it's a great show. He is the Zell of Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah. Word up.
Just come out, hang out. Dude, you don't need a reason. Just come and hang with us. We're all good people. Some of us.
Yeah, well, I mean, you and Dane did admit earlier that you were both terrible people.
That is true.
Of course we are.
I mean, it's in writing.
But we're terrible people, but we will donate to Patreon.
That's true. That's true, which makes you good people in my book. So if you want to be a good person, patreon.com. No, I'll plug that later. Yeah, man. I guess that just leaves me. I've just been playing a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2. Also, I got a gamer boner in the last 2 weeks because the Tomb Raiders 1, 2, and 3 remaster came out. It's only $29.99 full price. It's only $10 per game. Totally worth it. And get this, in the options, it has a choice that you can switch between tank controls, and that's what it calls it straight up, tank controls or modern controls. I can't decide which one I prefer because playing old Tomb Raider games with modern controls, real weird to me. The tank controls feel more like home, but they're still as annoying as ever. If that makes any sense. So I'm trying to get used to the modern controls. I would probably recommend to you guys, if we ever played after the show, to try out the modern controls if the tank controls annoy the shit out of you. But man, they did a good job. It's so pretty. And like I was showing you guys screenshot differences because you can hit the start button and switch between the old school graphics and the new, which, by the way, anytime games do a remaster like this, I love that they do that. That is something I want all of the games to implement, because the first time I saw it was when me and Ryan did Wonder Boy 3 and the Dragon's Trap, and you could hit buttons in the start menu and you could switch the graphics from the hand-drawn new ones to the old Sega Master System graphics and the sounds and all that. It was great. But yeah, man, going back and playing the good Tomb Raider games, it's been so much fun. So much fun. And I've been diving back into some 2K23, getting myself prepped for WWE 2K24 coming out next month. Stoked. Can't wait. Yeah, I know, Jeff, you're so excited to hear about this. But yeah, man, the new game's coming out and WrestleMania is next month, so like I'm just hyped. No, I'm sorry, WrestleMania's in April, not March. Anyways,
well, there goes my schedule.
Oh yeah, man, if I stream WrestleMania, you're not going to come watch it? I see how you are.
Oh, if you're going to stream it and everyone's going to join you, I'll definitely watch, but I'm just going to be like, so what kind of starch do you think this guy, or what kind of detergent do you think this guy uses on his Speedos?
I think you'll enjoy the Divas matches. Actually, the women's matches, they're not Divas anymore. Throwback. Chelsea Green still calls herself a diva, so I give myself a pass. Yeah, man. I've been playing a lot of Red Dead Online by myself mostly. We did get a game in last night, but we'll talk about that later on. I play Red Dead Online compared to the regular game so different. I just like beelined it to unlock fishing, basically. It was like, I just wanted to fish. The fishing's so good. Anyways, I guess we could get on with our game of the week if you'd like, my boys.
Yeah, sounds good.
And we have some obligatory Wikipedia bullshit.
I thought we were just watching porno.
I did plenty of that too. Red Dead Redemption 2 is a 2018 action-adventure game developed and published by Rockstar Games. The game is the third entry in the Red Dead series and a prequel to the 2010 game Red Dead Redemption. The story is set in a fictionalized representation of the United States in 1899 and follows the exploits of Arthur Morgan, an outlaw and member of the Vanderlyn gang, who must deal with the decline of the Wild West while attempting to survive against government forces, rival gangs, and other adversaries. The game is presented through first and third person perspectives, and the player may freely roam in its interactive open world. Gameplay elements include shootouts, robberies, hunting, horseback riding, interacting with non-playable characters, and maintaining the character's honor rating through a moral choice and deed system. A bounty system governs the response of the law enforcement and bounty hunters to crimes committed by the player. And just a fun fact, this game's development lasted over 8 years.
Wow.
Oh, you've definitely dealt with the moral system. Anytime you get good or bad karma, that's the moral system going on. But yeah, man. Nate, this was your choice. I was surprised that you picked this, but happily surprised. I will let you start off since it was your choice. What was your first impressions of this, my good sir?
Yeah, so like you said, this is a game I picked. I always thought it looked pretty neat, and it was something I'd never played, and I was under the impression that we really didn't need to play, Red Dead 1 in order to enjoy this one, which did turn out to be the case, happily enough. As a prequel, it's one of those games that I think was done well enough that it doesn't feel like a prequel. It feels like its own standalone game, which I'm sure you'd really enjoy a lot more, even if you had the familiarity with one of the major characters in the plot, which is John Marston as well. He's the protagonist from the first game, but he's a lot younger and kind of, I don't know what he's like in the first game, but he's a little bit wild in this one, to say the least. But as far as first impression goes, won't lie, it gets off to a very slow start. Like, this is one of those games that does something that I absolutely hate in video games, which is it makes you go through a super long and drawn out opening segment before it actually allows you to do anything that involves gameplay. So, starting off, I was like, oh, I think I made a mistake with this pick. So that was my first impression.
I do want to put out there, I warned y'all in the host chat, the beginning of this game's a slog, but once you get through it, it gets real good.
This is first impressions, baby. This isn't anything but first impressions.
That mountain section. All right, what about you, Will? Because Jeff, I know yours goes back a little further, so. Yeah, I can see how that would be annoying. Like every now and then when I go to just load into the game just to play it, it'll be loading up and I'll just get an error and it'll crash and then I load it again and it'll load fine. It's so strange. It makes me wonder if it's something to do with the Rockstar launcher. But fun fact, when I first got this game, I got it from a key site and I bought it without reading it and I bought it from the Rockstar launcher. And I ended up buying it again on Steam so I could get achievements. So I own this game twice on PC. So, Jeff, you ever want to hop in Red Dead, I'll give you my Rockstar. Well, actually, I don't know if it would let me do that because it logs me into the Rockstar launcher to play. Anyway, if it does let it, you could play that and do online through that.
It's just annoying that there's no crossplay. Because it's not like these games require a lot of quick speed or anything. Yeah. This isn't Fortnite.
Excuse me. So, Jeff, now you played this on PS4, right? Back in the day?
Correct, yes. So I purchased this game 1 week after launch, which was, I think, like early December of 2018. And yeah, I've been playing it on PS4 this whole time until now I'm playing it on the PS5, which is, it's wonderful. It was just a free upgrade to transfer it from one system to the other. But I am familiar with the first game. I played that, I can't remember when, the first time. So all the little touches and references I got from this game, I remember from the first game. But to agree, first, original first impression, I 100% agree with Nate. This intro, despite the fact that it is actually my favorite area or camp the whole game, it's slow. It is a slow process. It is a chapter-long tutorial. Depending on how you play, is maybe 2 or 3 hours. And some people that might be too much. But I got through it. Once the story starts and you actually are able to explore, that's when the game gets good. But we'll get there.
Yeah, and I'll say that the thing that kind of annoys me the most about this kind of introduction in a video game is it kind of treats the player like they're idiots. So, like, I know this game has a lot of complicated controls and stuff, but the way that it forces you to go through everything, it's slightly insulting to the player's intelligence at times.
I understand why they did it this way, because the gameplay between the first game and this game is pretty different. Mm-hmm. A lot of the core mechanics aren't in each other's game. That's why a lot of people are like, let's get a remaster of Red Dead 1 with 2's engine. Because if you play Red Dead 1 now, you'll understand the story and how it continues after this game. But the gameplay itself, you're just like, wow, this is bare bones.
So, my first impression, I had a friend of mine that owned this game on her PS4, and I played it a little bit over there. And was like, all right, I can get behind this. But I don't think I ever bought it for PS4. I think I just got it on my PC once I got my PC. And playing it through the Rockstar launcher. Man, that beginning section was a fucking slog. It was cool. I liked the kind of the beginning character building. But everything that you had to do just felt like it was taking forever. And I will say that when I got it on Steam and had to start over, I went on Nexus and found a game save that was saved right after the beginning. So right after that intro thing had come on and you get out into the thing, and I took that and I put that in my game folder, and that was the save file that I started from. It's like, I'm not doing that again. I'm just going to skip that and then get into the game itself. And it was much better off. But yeah, I was impressed with the visuals of the game right off the bat. Like, this is a very pretty game, and the snowstorms and the thick snow and wading through the snow and leaving the tracks and the treads and stuff, I was very impressed with what was technically going on, but it still didn't take away from the fact that it was a slog.
A nice detail I love about that first intro, you're wading through a blizzard. Snow is attached to your jacket. You're just covered in it. You go inside a warm cabin, you start seeing the snow melt off of you. Yeah, I think that was a very nice detail.
Yeah, and this game is full of great little touches like that. Like the environmental features, the way your character interacts with the environment. Like, everything is super duper thought out. Like, I don't know when we want to get off of first impressions and go into full impressions.
Oh, that's fine.
But like,
you can go ahead.
Yeah, so like building off of that, just the little minor details this thing does super well. Like, for instance, I remember when I first got into a game where I was playing a game of poker at a poker table with guys, the amount of animation and detail put into just like Arthur Morgan dealing out the cards and picking up the cards. Everything you would see happen at a real poker table is like what's happening while you're playing poker in the game. And like, I just think the way that they do that, and along with the little details of like, you go through a stream, your horse is wet. As you ride the horse out of the stream, you start seeing the water slough off of him. Like, I was really impressed at the level of detail everything had in this.
And I really like, too, the more you use your weapons, they'll start to degrade a little bit until you, when you're holding your wheel and going to pick them, you hit maintain, and then you rub them up with some gun oil and clean them up and get the dirt out of them and stuff, and then they go back to firing normal. Like, that's a little simmy, but at the same time, I enjoy that little detail, because it's like the more you use your guns, if you got your pistols out and you fall in some mud, they're going to get gross and they're not going to fire as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing you hear about a lot in games, is like weapon degradation being such a negative influence on games. Like, people still hate and talk bad about like the Zelda Switch games because of the fact that the weapons break. This game, your weapons just get less and less effective until you maintain them, and then they're back as good as new, and you can even improve upon them by replacing pieces in your stock with certain things. So I just think the way that this game handles weapon degradation is a super intuitive and good way of handling weapon degradation as a mechanic.
Yeah, it's definitely it's nothing you're always thinking about. It's just one of those things of you're buying ammo, and all of a sudden it just says, "Hey, you can actually go to a gunsmith," and they'll say one of your options is clean gun for like a few cents. It's like, oh, I guess it has been a while since I've cleaned my gun. Yeah, go ahead. Why not? I have some cash. Or like you said, you're just, do I want this gun in my arsenal, or oh, look at the condition. Let me clean this up a little bit. It's not always in your face of I got to worry about my gun's condition. No, it's just one of those tiny things that just the game does very well at implementing.
And most of the time when it would happen to me that I would notice it. It's when I switched to first person, and I could see my pistols or see my rifle, and I was like, "Ooh, looks a little grimy. Looks a little grimy. Let me use a gun oil and clean that bitch real quick." I wonder that dude didn't die from that headshot.
I always have a difficulty with cleaning my guns because I always make my weapons black metal, so the dirt doesn't always show up. I have to actually see the meter, be like, oh, weapon condition is low. I'll clean it.
Yeah,
dude, I love doing the black gunmetal with golden inlays. Oh, black and yellow, black and yellow.
Black metal, ivory, or no, pearl handle.
Black and pearl is beautiful too.
Yeah, that's what Johnny Depp called his ship in Pirates of the Caribbean.
The Black Pearl.
But yeah, it's like just those little details I really enjoy. And then on top of that, like, I think that the character development, like, I'm not very far in this game. Like, let me talk about why I'm not very far in this game. It is not because I didn't play this game. It's not because I didn't like this game. I have like over 20 hours into this game right now, and I have not gotten out of chapter 2 because you go off, you do a story quest, and it's fun. You have a great time doing it. And then 2 more story quests pop up, and then 5 more optional quests pop up. And like, this harkens back to what we were talking about on our Patreon bonus section. If you want to hear that, you know what you need to do. But like, no matter what, there was always something new to do. And yeah, I could progress the story, but John Marston's wife wants me to take her son fishing. Yeah, I'm going to take her son fishing. It's like,
and guess what? This unlocks fishing.
Yeah, there's just,
so now you can fish whatever you want.
Yeah, there's just so many things to do, and none of it feels just like random bullcrap, except for the things that are random bullcrap, which are still highly entertaining 90% of the time. Like, I know me and Dalton both encountered this one NPC, Dalton, multiple times, where there's this guy on the side of the road while you're riding by. He's like, "Oh my God, help me. I just got bit by a snake." And you gotta hop off your horse and go help this guy who got snake bit. You can either suck out the venom or give him some medicine. I gave him medicine. And just go about your day. There's just like so many little things like that just keep adding up that never felt like it took away from the game to me. It felt like it added, honestly, a whole hell of a lot, but made it extremely hard for me to stay focused on the story tasks.
But doing those kinds of side quests makes it good, because eventually you come across that character again. It's like, hey, I remember you sucked the venom out of my leg. And he's like, you're sitting outside a general store or a gunsmith. It's like, why don't you go talk to the owner? Ask him, buy anything you want, put him on my tab.
Yeah, I just had that happen to me.
You have those little things that they make it ideal. Like, all right, I'll help you because he's going to return the favor.
Yeah, that's really cool. I haven't encountered that yet, but that's really cool to know that like your actions with people actually do have some real impact in the game. Because like, so this game has a morality system basically in it where you can either be a white hat cowboy or a black hat cowboy. And for some reason, I can't bring myself to just do random murders and thievery. So I'm a white hat kind of cowboy in this game. So it's good to know that like my good deeds might come back to me as a boon in the store or something like that.
If your Arthur Morgan were to be played by anyone in a movie, it would be Chuck Norris.
Wow.
Just going in there. He is Walker, Texas Ranger. You are there to kick ass and do good.
Yeah, I guess that's pretty right.
Maybe. Well, it's actually funny. The first time I played this game, I played Arthur as neutral as possible. So every good deed I would do, I always just do something like, you know what, you're fucking pissing me off, and I'll shoot him in the head. And that lowers my my karma. So for most of the game, I was always in the middle. I was playing it like what Arthur would do. He's an outlaw gunslinger trying to do good things, but because of his history, he always ends up leaning towards doing bad stuff again. And so
see, I very much play my Arthur where he's a good guy, but he don't take no shit. So like somebody's like, I don't like the way you look. My Arthur's like, yeah, well, I'll beat your ass, and then punch him in the mouth.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this: well, do we want to continue with like all the environmentals stuff about this game, or do we want to? Because I was going to ask you what you think of the characters so far, the ones that you.
I think going to characters is a pretty good idea too, because like it leads to a lot. Like I guess the obvious one to start with is Arthur himself, who's just like I like Arthur a lot. Like he is a fully fleshed out character who has a very full and realized personality. Like you know what Arthur Morgan's about, and he's not just your Clint Eastwood cowboy in an old time Western. He has a full personality, and you can kind of get all of that from him. And I really enjoy Arthur a lot as a character. He is front running for best protagonist this year for sure.
Yeah, Arthur's fantastic, dude. And he only gets better as the game goes on because you learn more and more about him. Mm-hmm. You get closer to him. I know it's interesting to me, having dabbled in the first game. I think it's interesting to see John Marston back in the day. Like one of the first things you have to do up in the snow is go save his ass, and he got attacked by a wolf or a bear or something like that. And
yeah, like John getting attacked by the wolves at the very beginning of the game, and then Arthur for the rest of the game is like, man, you got a little bit smarter after you got half your brain eaten by a wolf.
But it's we understand where he got those scars because they're prominent on his face in the first game.
Yeah, very much so. And it was always like, yeah, this happened back in the day type thing when you would get asked about it.
Well, one thing.
I was just gonna say also real quick, fuck Micah. I hate Micah, and that opinion has not changed throughout all of the game that I've played. I'm about when I hit save game, I am now at 50%. But fuck Micah.
Oh sure, but all I was gonna say is with these characters, you can tell that they've been together for a long time. Because like the first mission you do once you get into the first the next camp in chapter 2, you four other characters go on a wagon ride to the town of Valentine, and the ladies in the back of the wagon just start singing a song. And it's just like, you know what, this is something that would happen at a short wagon trip or like a road trip going to town. It's just like, we're going to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's just one of these tiny details. The game does a very good job at telling us, yes, this is real.
The other night I was doing a quest that ended up back at camp with everybody, and Javier picked up a guitar and started playing, and he was singing in Spanish. And it was such a nice song that I just made Arthur go sit by the campfire with everyone and just sat there and listened while Javier was sitting there playing, and everybody was partying around me. Mm. It was a good time, man. I really enjoy the moments like that where everybody sits down and they start singing together, because it's just like they might be a gang, but they're also like a big family, and that comes across.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Dalton. a lot of times you talk about how much you like little slice of life moments in video games, and 90% of the time I don't get it. I think it's boring and overdone and takes way too long in a lot of games, like Persona 5, for instance. This game, you get those little slice of life moments. They feel natural and they don't like eat up at your time. Like, you get the picture of what's going on, you get to enjoy it, you get to feel your bonds with these characters deepen, but it doesn't feel like you're sitting there slogging through 25 minutes worth of text boxes.
Yeah, and I think that's the difference, is that this happens in-game engine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's happening in real time, as opposed to, you're doing segmented quest type things. Again, going back to the random side quests and stuff that you can do, how they implement that, where like you just be riding around doing your thing. Usually I'm looking for a spot to fish or hunt, and all of a sudden this little gray circle appears and someone's like, help, help. Like, for instance, I had one earlier today where I was riding along and this woman was like, oh my God, my leg, please help me, my leg. So I stopped my horse and I hopped off and I went over to go help her, and she stands up and pulls a pistol on me and is like, give me everything you got. So I, dead-eye, pulled out my gun, blew her head off, and her buddies were like, Lydia, you're gonna die, how dare you? And I blew their heads off. Like, I'm like, listen, don't fuck with me. And then somebody comes riding up, and of course, they don't give me a chance to explain. They're just like, oh, murder. And then they go and report me. So now I'm hauling ass away from cops.
Yeah.
No, just kill the witness. There's no other witnesses.
My horse did not get to me quick enough before I do. Okay, so here's the thing. I was nowhere near a town. So I don't know how he reported to cops, because he saw the thing. He rode away like 15 feet, and then it went from witness to wanted. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do you got, like, magic?
Well, you're slow on the draw then, sir.
Well, yeah, I was doing some looting.
That's not the Arthur Morgan way.
I was doing looting.
Looting too.
I had things to steal. She had a nice silver locket on her that I'm going to go sell to a fence, my good sir. Thank you very much. I got to make money to make Dutch happy.
Yeah. Man. And I guess like one thing we haven't even begun to really talk about is how the story in this game starts off. So I guess just like to give a little quick background on what's happening in the game and why we're doing what we're doing is like, there was a heist that gone wrong in this town called Blackwater. And so Dutch, who's your basically company boss, is on the run with your whole posse, and you're trying to escape Blackwater. And that's why you end up in this long, boring cutscene at the beginning where you're trudging through the snow because you're trying to find that camp, somewhere you can stay. And then after that happens, like, you realize you can't stay there once the snow thaws. You're still too close to Blackwater. And then the O'Driscolls are all around you. The O'Driscolls are a rival gang, much like Dutch's gang. And you're trying to ride on out and set up a new camp where you find. And that's kind of like the basis of the story. And then I don't know where it goes from there, because like I said, that's when chapter 2 starts. And I haven't gotten to too much story because everything else keeps me entertained.
If there's one good thing about this intro, is we do meet my favorite side character in the whole game, Sadie Adler. As the game progresses, continue with the game. Just wait as Sadie progresses.
Yeah. And it is spoilers for how I feel about the game in general, but like, I do not intend on stopping playing this game just because we're done playing it for the show. Like, there's so much more to these characters that I want to get to know about. Like, so what about you boys? Did you have any like characters that really stuck out to you that you enjoyed spending time with in the game?
I guess
Go on, Jeff.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Jeff. You're the guest.
So, like I said, Sadie Adler, she is my favorite side character whole game. The next character that I absolutely love, he is fantastic, is Charles Smith, the African Native American, the one that he teaches you how to go hunting with the bow and arrow.
Yep.
His character and how he progresses throughout the game, he's fantastic. I mean, I don't know how else to continue without spoiling, so it's those two are my favorite, Charles and Sadie.
Without too many, let me see how I word this. I really like Sean, the Irish boy.
Yeah.
He's got a good head on his list, but he's a bit of a fucking whack job. But I love him.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the mission where we went and saved him, and then Arthur's like, I probably would have just left you here, Sean.
I remember when you go do that quest where you got to bust Micah out of jail, I was like, man, can I leave you here? Like, you just look like you're going to bother me.
If there's one good thing that he does, he gives you a second holster. So now that's when you can start dual wielding pistols.
Ah, that's true. That is true. Yeah, dude. Some other characters I really like. Sadie. I can't remember her name. I think it's Black Belle. But one of the characters that you meet when you have to go and find the gunslingers, she's just a badass.
Yeah.
There's another guy. I'm trying to remember his name. I think it's Magnifico. It's hilarious. I don't want to give too much away about Magnifico, but he's a midget that does magic.
Yep.
And it's fantastic. And yeah, man. I mean, honestly, my favorite character in the entire game is Arthur. Like, I just love seeing him interact with all the different people. Like, and to the point that the little touch that if I just greet everyone I see, I start getting positive karma.
Mm-hmm. Hi there, mister.
Hey there, mister. Hi there. Slow on down. I rarely rob people. Like, I had to do a quest today where I robbed people, and I started getting achievements towards an achievement for actually robbing people because I hadn't done that in the game yet.
Oh, wow.
Just robbing civilians. I have robbed houses now. But like shakedowns, I don't really do those much. Whereas in Grand Theft Auto 5, I am the gas station rob king. The robber king.
Yeah. So I guess
no, I was gonna say one of the things that really stands out to me, and I guess this is kind of going to the environment thing, is that like you're in, I think it's the 5 states, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I know you don't really get to see Blackwater and stuff till later in the game, but the vast difference in the biomes, I'll say, is tremendous. Like, you know, you got your mountainous area, you got the plains and the plateaus, you got the woodsy area, and then you got straight up swampland. Like, go down to Saint Denis, you see that? That's the Florida I live in. Okay, people think Florida's Miami. No, that Louisiana swamp bullshit that you got to go down in Santa, that is how the Florida I live in is.
With all the gators.
Oh, there's lots of gators. Oh man, one of the coolest things I saw the other day was I was walking through there on my horse, just trotting along, and there was a dude standing in the swamp fishing, about waist deep, and all of a sudden he just screamed, got yanked underwater, and never came back up. And I just went, well, damn. But yeah, like, so what was your favorite area so far that you've seen? Because I know we saw a few different ones playing Red Dead Online, so you've seen a little more of the map. But what about you, Nate? Because your shirt's purple, and that's my favorite color.
Yeah, I'd say that, honestly, like, I hadn't seen a whole lot of the world until we started playing online, and we got to ride around and have a lot more freedom in the map, because I still haven't done a whole lot of... because there's so much to do in that first area. It's hard to keep moving on. But, like, I really did like that area down by St. Denis and, like, the swamp area, seeing the alligator snapping turtles, the gators, everything like that going on. It's just a ton of fun.
The swamp area is so cool, dude, because it's like, that's where I've gotten some of my best screenshots. It's like early morning when the sun rays are coming through in the swamp and it's kind of foggy. It's beautiful.
Just be careful traveling at night.
Yeah. Yeah. We can't talk more about that, though. They got to find out about that on their own.
Yep.
I'm pointing at the screen, but my camera's here. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because I've ran into that a few times. And yeah, the first time jump scared me. Let me just say that. There is at least one slight jump scare, quote unquote, in this game.
So how far are you right now? What's the last mission you did, Nate and Willie? I don't jump too far ahead to avoid spoilers.
Oh, I guarantee I'm way far behind you, but if there's something spoiler you want to talk about, go right ahead. It's not going to bother me much.
No. I don't want to spoil the story for you guys. I want you to experience it because it's awesome.
Yeah, I know that the one thing that I got asked was not to spoil deaths of people. I know Willie had mentioned that, so I'll keep that for sure. But yeah, I don't remember what chapter I'm in. But I'm over.
You're in chapter 4. You're in chapter 4.
Chapter 4. Okay.
I've beaten the game a few times already, so.
Right. I remember when I was first playing, I was reading up on Reddit, just like tips, little things like that were spoiler free. And somebody said like once you got to chapter 3 or chapter 4, like that was when you really should go and try to do all the side stuff, because that's when you have like the best base and things that sort. So that's what I've been doing, is going around and doing all the side stuff. And I've just now started to get back into the story. Like I caught all the legendary fish, all 13 of them.
Nate,
and I was very happy about that.
Dalton and I have always told you that Red Dead has the best fishing in video games. How does it compare to Ultimate Fishing Simulator?
I mean, it's pretty good. Like, honestly, God, that's a hard question, because it is a lot of fun fishing in Red Dead. I think they're pretty comparable, honestly, because like I think it serves a purpose in Red Dead where you can go off and do other things other than just fish, or you can spend your whole time fishing. So, yeah, I think they're pretty comparable, if I'm being completely real. Just different.
And
one of my favorite spots to fish, it's a lake outside of Strawberry to the west. I can't remember what it's called. It's a Native American name, I believe. It begins with an O. I put a tent right on like the shore of the lake, and I just throw out a rod, and so I was like, oh boy, look at all the muskies. It's mountainous, it's forests, it's a beautiful area. I love spending so much time there.
You said it's to the west of Strawberry?
Correct, yes.
I'll have to
Strawberry is the town that you had to free Micah from jail.
Oh, I know Strawberry very well. I always end up there. I don't know how, but I always end up in Strawberry. It's like I get drawn back. But yeah, man. I'm trying to think of my favorite place to fish. I like the swamps because I just like riding around and seeing all the gators that are just floating around as you're like doing your thing. But I am like it was near your camp. It was the camp before the one that I'm at now. It was in like the little thing. I think it's west of Rhodes, and there's like a cove that you can go out in a boat and do fishing and stuff. And it was just like fantastic. And I loved that area because I could catch a bunch of fish and then go right back and go turn them into homeboy for the stews and things like that. And it was just like, wow, chef's kiss. Tremendous.
Yeah, hunting is also very relaxed in this game. I spent a lot of time in chapter 2 as well, just because there's a wide open plain outside your camp. Just like, oh, look at all the deer. I'm going to start picking off some perfect carcasses.
Dude. And that's another thing, too, is like you brought up Ultimate Fishing Simulator. At one point, I had Ultimate Fishing Simulator installed, and I had Hunter Call of the Wild installed, right? And then I was playing this, and I'm like, well, I can do both of those in Red Dead. So I might as well just get my cake and eat it, too, all in one. You know what I'm saying? So I uninstalled those, and I just play Red Dead now, because I can just be like fishing and be like, you know what? I think I see a 8-point buck across the river. Let me pull out my rifle real quick and just pow! And then just get over to it quick, though, because if you're like, let me catch another fish before I go get that, it's going to spoil, and then you can't do anything with it. Learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, have you done any specific quests that have stood out to you so far?
Yeah, I think one of the ones that really sticks out to me is your buddy Lenny comes running back to camp letting you know that one of the other gang members is taken in prison and you need to go rescue him. But before that, you go to take Lenny out to calm down his nerves a little bit. So you end up taking him down to the bar, and you just get completely 1,000% absolutely hammered with Lenny, right? You end up chasing him around the bar, and
is that the quest that oh, excuse me. Is that the one where it's like it starts kind of flashing colors and you're walking around, you're trying to find Lenny in the crowd and you can't find him, and then suddenly I think it was like everyone's Lenny?
Yeah, because Arthur just gets like super freaking drunk at this bar, and you're just like wandering around trying to find Lenny while you just have this blurred vision and everything. Like, it is the most realistic depiction of being drunk I've ever seen in any media ever. Like, this was me in college, just walking around, Lammy, is that you? like I swear that.
I will say it has one of the funniest cuts ever, because these drunk guys are picking on Lenny, and Arthur is walking down the stairs. At this point, he's shit-faced, and he's like, "You don't talk to my friend that way. You stand away from him." And he's getting ready. You see his arm getting cocked back. He's about to punch the guy. Next thing to know, everyone in the bar is doing a line dance.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny.
I ran into a quest today. I actually did the quest today, but I got it a long time ago from a guy in a dress. I don't remember his name. It was like Margaret Ann or something like that. But it's a dude in a dress, and he asked me to go find his lost zoo animals, and so I had to go find his zebra. So today I finally went and found his zebra, and this was a donkey with white stripes painted on it. It's like a black donkey with white stripes painted on it. And Arthur gets on the back of it and he's like, "Lord, I hope your stripes don't rub off on my pants." Like, fucking hell. I love Arthur so much. He's such a smart ass. And then I really have enjoyed a few of the quests that I've done that were like main story quests, where like Dutch sends you to go do some crazy bullshit. Particularly later on, there are two families that you get involved with that you have to go back and forth doing quests. And it turns out exactly how you would think if you're trying to play both sides. And it's just like a hail of bullets. And I love those quests where you got to shoot your way out of a bad situation. That's where my Arthur shines. Captain Headshot. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Have you guys dealt, have you guys caught a wild horse yet? And rode it to the stable?
I haven't rode one to the stable. I caught one time because I was far away from my horse and I did not feel like walking back to my horse. And there was a bunch of wild horses around the corner. Like, yeah, I'll get one of these guys, tame it up real quick and ride it back to my good old horse. And that worked out for me, but I haven't tried taking it to the stable. What's that process end up being like?
Oh, you calm it down, you feed it and everything so it doesn't buck you off.
Yeah.
And then you ride it to the stable, and if you have room in your stable, the guy's just like, "Oh, that's a beautiful mare or steed," or whatever the hell you call it. And then you can buy a man, I couldn't remember the word saddle. Jesus. You buy a saddle for it and you can buy it up, and then it just becomes one of your horses. You can name it, and
or you can sell it for money.
Yeah, that, or you can sell it.
Okay.
You can also steal wagons and go sell them eventually, which is fun.
I did in one of my playthroughs. I did actually catch what is supposed to be the rarest horse in the game, which is a white Arabian, which is actually up in the snowy mountains where you start the game. It took a while. The horse is very skittish, but it's supposed to be like the fastest horse in the game. But I always tend towards the Shires, those giant work horses, just because they remind me of Clydesdales, and those things are just
I like a big horse.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. When I was looking through all the horses last night online, I was looking for something that was the equivalent of a Clydesdale, and I was like, "Yeah, man, that I want to get me one of those big fuckers for sure."
Mm-hmm. Good old.
Also, this has to be brought up. Exactly, sir. Exactly. And this has to be brought up because anybody who talks about Red Dead Redemption 2 brings this up when horses are mentioned. There was someone on that team that had to take the time to animate a horse's nuts shriveling up when it's cold and sagging when it's hot. And that is hilarious to me.
And they are prominent.
Yeah, and they'll jingle all around as you're running. So they're definitely there. But just the fact that that's another one of those little details that's didn't need to be there, but it's there. Have you guys come across the family that's building the house?
No, I haven't.
Yes, the family outside of Valentine.
Yeah. So it's right outside of Valentine. There's a couple different times you come across them and different things will be happening. And apparently there's a few different ways it can go the way you handle it. I don't want to get in too much detail. I want you guys to handle it for yourselves. But it's really cool, like how some of the little quests just kind of bloom as the game goes on. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not where it just goes A, B, C, done. It's like you meet these people, and then 2 chapters later, you come back, their house is more built, yada, 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 that kind of thing. Like, I think that's really cool how it kind of develops over the time of the game.
You see time passing. Again, one of those tiny details.
Like Arthur's hair growing and his beard growing out. I just had to do a quest where I got all dapper, and then I had to go to the barber, so I gave my Arthur his first ever haircut and shave since I started playing. And he looks super professional now. Now he's a professional manslaughter master. Gunslinger. He's the gunslinger.
I always make my Arthur have like a nice trimmed beard and like nice hair. He never looks like a slob.
Well, mine had a nice trimmed beard, but he had long hair. But it just started to, I don't know, his beard got too out of control there for a little bit, so I had to clean him up. Plus, I was going to gamble, so like, you know, you got to look good when you go gambling. Back then, everybody puts on a fucking tuxedo.
Oh, okay. Yep, I know exactly what you were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to word it without spoiling things, yeah. But yeah, man. What else would you like to talk about with this game? I know there's a lot to it, but again, I know you guys didn't get, well, Nate and Willie didn't get super far into it, but you've seen enough of it to get the gist of like how it plays. So
yeah, man, it's just like one of those games. Like, I don't think, like, I don't know. It's weird because like I'm really loving every minute I play of this game, and like I feel like I've only just scratched the surface of what I've seen so far, even though that there is so much more. I feel like I still have so much more to see. Like, I just absolutely love this game, and like I said, I just don't want to stop playing it.
One thing I recommend is take your time. Don't rush. Just envelop yourself in the game. Just explore every possible thing you can before you progress the story.
Yeah, flesh out a chapter before you end it, for sure.
Yeah, because like that's the thing. Is like the more I got into this, the more I was like, I don't want to rush any second of this because there's just so much to do and see, and all of it so far has been a lot of fun. It's like I'm not gonna do what I do sometimes for the show and push story just so I can say I beat the game or know everything that happened, because like I'm just having too much fun, just enjoying it for what it is.
Absolutely. Now, before we give ratings and things like that, let's talk a little bit about Red Dead Online. So, you had your first experience with it last night. So, me personally, I log in and play Red Dead Online every now and then. More so here recently, I've been playing it a little more because I wanted to get my rank up so I could get fishing. But my Arthur Morgan is like a gray hat cowboy. You know what I mean? Like we discussed that earlier. My online character, if there is a whiter shade of white, like that is the hat that he. I tried to do. He was. Let me put that way. He was a whitest shade of white until he saw a really nice gray hat that he wanted. But I mostly would log online and I would hunt and I would fish. And I am one of those people. I bought myself a little bit of gold, but only enough to unlock the professions, quote unquote, or whatever they're called, like bounty hunter, naturalist, all of those things. I got those. I don't care about you could pay 25 gold to get this special outfit and things like. Get out of here. Give me the stuff that's gonna just give me more things to do, almost like the DLC. You know what I mean? I'll take those. That's fine. I don't mind paying for that. So going out and doing all that stuff has been really, really fun. Hunting and fishing, my main thing, because I unlocked the cribs where he's in my camp now, and he's got a thing where I can go and give him stuff to sell, and he's got like a business. And Nate and Willie were helping me contribute to that last night with hunting and things. We have our posse now, because when we were playing together last night, I saved up the $200 and started the TSMP posse, which is fun. So what did you think about online, Nate? Like, because I know that was your first kind of jumping into it experience.
Yeah, dude, like I really liked how the online works in this. Like, it does make you do another intro to the game, which honestly, not too long, not too cumbersome in the online version. Like, you get in, you do a couple things, and boom, you're out free roaming, getting to do what you want. I did appreciate the fact that, you know, we had a group, so it made things easier to do, and you were basically posse leader and everything, picking our missions, and we'd go run around and kidnap people, weed, just do a little bit of everything. And it was a lot of fun. Like, I had a blast playing online last night. Like, just the shenanigans that we got into was just hilarious to me. It's like one of the first things that happened is we all load into the game. Me and Willie's characters get into a big fight, and then like, I think he shot me. No, I think he killed me with fists or whatever. And then when I respawned, I came in and shot him right in the head.
Yeah, so I show up to this situation, and Willie's standing there. Nate's on the ground dying. So I walk over and use a revive and revive Nate. And Nate stands up, draws his rifle, shoots Willie right in the face. Boom! Willie's dead. Unrevivable. And I'm like, damn. So then they went back and forth killing each other for a while. And then, yeah, we ended up calling a truce between everybody. Everybody kept killing each other and throwing fists. I think I might even hog-tied someone at some point. I know I did take one of their corpses and put it on a train track.
The funniest thing to me, though, last night wasn't even that part. It was like when we were just riding, we were finally getting into our groove of thing. And like, I just decide, pull out my lasso, riding my horse behind you, swing my lasso at you, pull you off the horse. Your dude just comes flying on the horse and lands straight on his head onto the ground. Just one of the funniest things.
Yeah, pile driver, just straight boom, head first. Like, and then going back to the hat thing, we were all three just riding down the trail, just talking, chilling. We're having a conversation with Kana. And this dude rides by us with like a legit like big old top hat. And I just went, oh, wait, hold on. And Nate immediately knew. He goes, you want that guy's hat, don't you? I went, fucking right, I do. I turned around and shot that guy like 3 times mid-section so he'd fall. And I went over and got his hat, and I wore that. Unfortunately, though, when I put it on, I got that little message that was like, you cannot save this hat, so if it falls on the ground, you'll lose it. And then during a mission, it fell on the ground, and I lost it.
It was a sad day. No, the funniest thing was, just, like, I didn't realize what was happening. Like, I was standing next to this NPC, and this guy just starts talking mad shit. I'm like, why is this guy talking so much shit? It's like he just keeps going and going and going. So like I just go out and slug him like 6 times until he's knocked out. I turn around and find out Dalton's been pointing a gun at him the whole time.
I would point a pistol at him and he would talk some shit and then I'd put the pistol away. And Nate and Willie would turn around and be like, the fuck's this guy's problem? And then they would turn back, start coming back or turn around, do whatever. And I'd point the gun at him again. And he'd be like, I'm about to kick your ass. And Nate was like, the hell you are. Wah, 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 wah. It was fucking awesome. Oh, it was so good, dude. And then there was the section where we were all three just kind of trotting through the swamp, just killing gators as we went along. Boom, before they could get us. One of them about got me because I thought I had my shotgun and I didn't. I had my rifle and I shot it in the head and that gator just got pissed. And I was like, uh-oh. Reload real quick and just shoot it again, and it finally died after 2 or 3 shots. But I thought they were gonna watch me get eaten.
I'd have laughed.
Oh, let me tell you, dude, that day that I was trying to get that legendary gator, and I wasn't even trying to kill it, I was trying to just get to it so I could examine it and put it to sleep so I could get a sample for the naturalist lady. I just kept getting killed by fucking alligators. There was nothing I couldn't kill them all enough at some point. There were just so many of them. I was like, God damn it. And then the legendary gator got away and I was like, man. But
I was killed by the legendary gator. It ate me alive. I was not equipped properly.
yeah, it's massive. There online, I think there's a few different ones because the one that I saw was like a red sun gator or something like that. But the one in the main game, the legendary bull gator, is fucking huge. Like, wait till you stumble upon that bad boy. Woo!
I'm excited.
Yeah, man.
It's the only legendary I've ran into so far is that bear that you go off on that hunt with at the beginning. I did get the bear, but...
Oh, I can't wait till you find the guy who's like, hey, man, find me the 13 legendary fish. Then it's on like Donkey Kong.
Oh, yeah.
That was fun to do. That was really fun to do. I had a lot of fun. Just caught my last one today.
I've only caught one of them right now so far. the steel trout.
I had the legendary bluegill left, and I went and got that earlier and was like, finally I sent that guy. So I don't even know what my reward is for it yet. I have to wait till I log in after we're done recording, and then I'm gonna play some in because I have to wait 24 hours, and I believe it's been 24 hours in the game now.
Nice.
So I got to go check my parcels.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you guys want to bring up before we get into ratings?
No, we've already discussed like a lot of the basic mechanics and things you can do in the game. Story, it's probably something, if we do another episode of this, definitely we could get more into the story, but I definitely want to save it for you guys.
Sure.
Yeah, this could be one we come back to once everybody's actually beaten it.
Yeah.
And do like a
wrap up.
You know, a wrap up, yeah. Even if that's a year or two from now. All right, then let's go with ratings, man. Let's start with Jefe. What about you, man?
Well, there's a lot of excellent stuff in this game. There are a few tediums that like, for example, the controls sometimes don't do what the joystick is telling you to do. So it's just like you're walking forward and you immediately like, oh, I need to go this way. Then, oh wait, no, I need to go this way. The character won't respond accordingly and will act like a doofus for a few seconds until the game finally recognizes. So there's that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and that has been a problem with Rockstar games since Grand Theft Auto 4. As much as I love GTA 4, that was when you started having issues with the character movement, at least in my opinion. But continue.
But stuff like that, it doesn't take away too much from the game. This game is fantastic. The story, you guys will experience it, is fantastic. I love the characters. I give this 9 revolvers out of 10.
Red Deads?
No, I'm trying to think of something Dutch will say. 10. We need money.
Yeah, there you go. We just need one more take, Arthur. Just one more.
There's always one more.
And then we can go to Tahiti. Where the hell's Tahiti? It's in the South Pacific. Who lives there? I don't know. Tahitians. God, that's such a great fucking
We'll be mango farmers.
What about you, Nate?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, like, the game starts off to a rough start, and like Jeff mentioned, there are some of those control issues. I think that's all really outweighed by what I've seen of the story so far. The way just every little detail in this game is done so well. And the game, except for at the beginning, never feels boring. Like, it's engaging, keeps you wanting to do more, even the things that aren't story or plot related. So yeah, like, to me, this game's a 9 legendary bears out of 10 legendary gators.
Yeah, man. I don't disagree with either of you. I have never beaten this game, but because of watching things like Outside Xbox, I know the ending to this game. I know what ends up happening, yada, yada, yada. At least to certain characters, let me put it that way. I know what happens to certain characters. Obviously, John Marston survives.
What?
Because he is the protagonist of the next game. Or the first game, which is the next game in the timeline.
Spoiler!
But I really enjoy it. This game ticks a lot of boxes for me when it comes to something that I just want to play. As far as a world to go live in, like quote unquote live in. You know what I mean? Again, with the hunting, the fishing, just going and picking fist fights with people. I can get in my brawler type games. And the connection that I've got with the characters so far, like I'm really enjoying the story. I'm invested. I even told Nate, I was like, hey man, give me like 20 more minutes. I want to finish this quest because shit just got real. Like, you know, I was like, I'm really getting some good shit going on. And I'm going to give it 9.5 incendiary shells out of 10 explosive sniper rounds.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Actually, no. Let me take that back. I'm going to give it 9.5 dirty headshots out of 10 clean headshots.
The ones where you just knock off the hats versus the ones where you knock off the skulls.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's Have you guys shot someone's head off with a shotgun round?
Oh yeah. Oh, I have obliterated people's chromes, bro.
And you will see
Domes,
the
not
detail
chrome.
in gorish detail. The corpse will collapse. You look at it, the head is just gone, just below the jaw. It is.
Yeah, you got tongue. Oh.
It is gruesome.
Yeah, I've also blown someone's head half off, where like half their face was there, and just a big chunk of their whole head was gone.
Nice.
I've
pretty
thrown
gnarly.
dynamite. I've thrown dynamite at people, and limbs go flying.
Yeah, I was gonna say during a quest I was doing earlier, I had explosive rounds in my double barrel shotgun, and I shot this guy midsection and blew his bottom half off. So like all that was left was just his torso and his arms and head just boom hit the ground. I was like, oh Jesus! It was pretty hardcore.
Hello, gang. This game is so much fun. Dude, just roaming the prairie and the bayou with my bros was incredible. Playing it by myself was so much fun. Honest to God, I wanted to get 16 hours of the game done before we recorded, and 2 days before recording had almost none of it. And then I just started playing it, and I was on 18 hours immediately. This is super addictive, and I'm giving it the provisional score of 9 revolvers out of 10. And frankly, that last point is just because I think I will have more fun going forward with it. So in the future, this might be a 10 out of 10 game.
Well, all right, man. Let's. I guess we got some questions to get to, my good sir.
Yeah, let's go roll into some questions here. And Jeff, I know we missed a few of yours last week, so
Yeah, I was on a roll.
so let's go ahead and start with one of the big boys that Jeff sent in to us. This is from Jeff. This will be a 3-parter question for different episodes. First part, what was the first game you bought for all the Nintendo consoles? So starting off, what was everybody's first NES game they bought? And I guess since you're here, it's a good time to ask you this. Does it mean that I personally bought this game, or that it was one of the first games that the parents bought?
Well, I guess it depends, because this question for the NES, and I cannot answer because by the time I never purchased a game. I played the NES, but I never purchased a game because I was always too young.
Yeah.
So I guess the first game that we owned, how about we put it like that? The first game we owned for each of these consoles.
All right.
For us, it would be the double Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt cartridge.
Yeah, I think pretty much everybody at the NES had that one. So that definitely came with my NES as well. But the first one I remember that wasn't that was my dad's favorite video game, which was Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. So we've had that ever since we were tiny, tiny children.
The one that I can remember is the one that me and my dad would play together the most often was Star Tropics.
Nice.
So and Super Mario 3.
Start Tropics, sir.
Yeah, Start Tropics.
Mike Jones.
But the first NES game I ever bought was recent, and it was WrestleMania.
Nice.
Yeah.
So for the Super Nintendo, for me, I did not own a Super Nintendo growing up. I was a Genesis kid, right? So I didn't get my first Super Nintendo until I was an adult. The first game, so I already knew what I liked on the Super Nintendo. The first Super Nintendo game that I bought was Donkey Kong Country.
Hell yeah. I still have never owned a Super Nintendo. I own the SNES Classic, the little mini.
Mm-hmm.
And the first game I played on that was Star Fox.
Nice.
I am shocked.
I know.
I also never owned a Super Nintendo. I had a friend, one of my best friends growing up had a Super Nintendo though, and I remember playing football games on it. I want to say it was a Madden game.
Okay.
And he also, it's surprising because his parents were so Christian, but he had Mortal Kombat. But I think it's because it was the version that didn't have blood or anything in it. So it was just a regular fighting game. But definitely have the Super Nintendo Mini. Sorry, my brain blanked for a second. I have the Super Nintendo Mini, and I love that thing. I don't play it enough because I have other ways to emulate things now. But I thought about it hooking it up in the living room for my dad. But then I have the PS3 out there that's got custom firmware on it that's got all the RetroArch with ROMs and all of that. So, I mean, he could do that too if he wanted to.
Oh, yeah. All right. So the next system on the list is the Nintendo 64. The first game I remember having for the Nintendo 64 was Diddy Kong Racing, and to this day, I still love Diddy Kong Racing more than Mario Kart 64 by a wide margin.
First game that was actually gifted to me was Rayman 2: The Great Escape.
Ah.
I just got that on GOG like not long ago.
It's a green cartridge.
It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not own an N64. I was a PlayStation kid. One of my best friends did have a Nintendo 64 though, and the game that I remember playing with her the most, to be honest, was No Mercy. We put countless time into WWF No Mercy.
Hell yeah.
And then my neighbors up the street had a Nintendo 64, and they always wanted to play GoldenEye. I wanted to play Mario Party, and that's the story of my life. You want to play Mario Party? No, let's play Smash. God damn it, I don't want to play Smash. Let's play Mario Party. I don't want to play. No, let's play Mario Kart. Oh, God damn it, let's play Mario Party.
All right.
Mario Party is fun.
I don't like Mario Party.
Oh, God damn it.
So the next system we have is the GameCube. I never owned a GameCube. I still don't.
This was my first console I actually purchased with money, and it was Need for Speed Carbon.
Okay.
Hell yeah. My brother gave me his GameCube, and he gave it to me. It came with 2 games. So it was Super Mario Sunshine, and it was Super Monkey Ball.
Nice. Super Monkey Ball's classic.
And I had a blast with both those games. And then I would rent some games. Like I remember renting the one that killed my GameCube because I left it on for a weekend while I went away on a Boy Scout trip because I was a dumb kid, was Twilight Princess. Like I was playing that game and then I came home and I unpaused it. I played some and the game froze. So I turned my GameCube off and it would never turn on again. It never read a disc again, I should say.
Killed that disc reader.
Killed it. I was like, damn. So I'm not the biggest fan of Zelda. GameCube killing bitch.
All right. So next is the Nintendo Wii. So for me, I remember buying that. It was the first video game system I bought after I graduated college. My first Wii game. I remember getting Mario Kart. I got 3 games, I'm pretty sure, at the same time. I think I got Mario Kart Wii. Obviously, Wii Sports, don't count that. And Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Never had a Wii.
I never had a Wii.
All right.
But I can tell you, if I did have a Wii, I would have played Xenoblade Chronicles.
Good call. I never actually got around to that one back then. All right. Next one, the Wii U. Did either of you two have a Wii U?
No.
I did. First game I had was Mario Kart 8.
One of my good friends had one, and the only thing I remember his kid playing on it was it Super Mario Maker?
Yep.
Is that what it was called? Yeah, kid loved that game. So that's the game that I associate with Wii U is Super Mario Maker.
Yeah, I get that for sure. It was Super Mario Maker 2 on the Switch, which I liked a lot. And then I guess that leads us to the Switch. What were your guys' first games for the Switch? Mine.
Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yep. I got 3 games when I got my Switch. I got Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, and Splatoon 2.
So I wanted physical editions. I wanted physical copies for my Switch when I first started getting it for it. Now I could care less. But I had Super Mario Odyssey. Zelda was sold out, so I got Zelda digitally. But the 2 that really stand out to me as the games that I put a lot of time to when I first got my Switch is Battle Chef Brigade and Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Donna.
Nice.
And Ys 8 is so good that I've purchased that on Steam and plan to play it for the show because it is fucking good, man. That is such a good game.
Word up. All right. Then we just to our next question. This one is from Adam. What 3 song would 13-year-old you have on their Discman/MP3 player? 13-year-old me still had a cassette tape deck as Adam, so for me that would have been around 1999. So I looked up a list of songs from 1999, and 3 of those songs definitely stand out to me as songs that I would have listened to a shit ton back then. All Star by Smash Mouth came out in 1999, which was one of the first CDs I made mom take me to Kmart so I could buy. Livin' La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin. I still love that song. I still love Ricky Martin. And Smooth by Rob Thomas and Carlos Santana.
Fucking great song.
Hell yeah, dude.
Love that song, dude.
Me too.
Let's see. During this time, 13-year-old me, I'm going to have to do some quick research, because either it would just be whatever Led Zeppelin album I had at the time, or hold on, give me 1 second. I would have been listening to the Pokemon the First Movie soundtrack.
Nice.
I want to be the very best like no one ever was.
Hell yeah. What about you, Dalton?
How about you, Dalton?
Oh man, mine's easy. That'd have been 2005.
So much older.
I probably would have.
That's the year I graduated high school.
Because I was 92. So it would have been 2005. Probably 3 songs that I would have had on my MP3 player would have been Mudvayne, Not Falling, Slipknot, Duality, Korn, Here to Stay.
Word up.
Easy peasy. Shit that I still listen to this day.
Yep. I mean, I still listen to Matchbox 20 and Rob Thomas, so.
Fair enough.
All right. Next question comes in from Jeff. And this is vacation spots. And he put it in a nice red pill, blue pill for us. So the red pill, you get to go to Whiterun from Skyrim, Pandora from Borderlands, Silent Hill from Silent Hill, and Midgar from Final Fantasy VII. The blue pill, you get to go to Kamurocho from Yakuza 0, so 1980s Kamurocho. I want to throw that out there. Blacklight from Morrowind, Raccoon City from Resident Evil, and Lindblom from Final Fantasy IX. I'll let you start it off, Dalton.
So here's the way that I worked this out in my brain, and it's specifically 2 places. Silent Hill and Raccoon City, because those are the ones you really got to deal with, right? So Raccoon City, you might have to deal with Mr. X, you might have to deal with Nemesis, but mostly you're dealing with zombies. The zombies that kind of just shamble around, right? Silent Hill, you're dealing with crazy, weird, psychosexual monsters. You have Pyramid Head, who everyone's seen the gif where he just grabs the girl by the middle of her titties and just twists and rips her entirety of her skin off in the movie. But in the game, he's just as evil and sadistic. And then also, like Silent Hill, that place is it's a representation of everything that you fear. It is something that your mind conjures. Like, it is way more of mental horror than Raccoon City that is just zombies. That being said, if it's a vacation, I want to relax and I can avoid zombies more than I can avoid mental torture. So I'm going to go blue pill because, for one, Midgar, no one wants to go to Midgar. No one wants to go to Midgar. Pandora.
Who wants to go to Pandora? That place is hell.
Pandora, you're going to get killed by a little, like... little person raider, I'll say. Whiterun,
there's a dick.
You're gonna have to deal with Nazir.
Yeah, Nazir. Like, exactly. Like, I don't want to deal with Nazir. Like,
or Nazim,
whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 1000% with you. Plus, in the blue pill, you get to go to Kamurocho in 1980s, which
Kamurocho,
that sounds pretty baller. I'm going to go to the Sega arcade in Kamurocho in the 1980s and chill for a while. And then Lindblom, so much nicer than Midgar. Let's be real.
Lindblom is fantastic.
I love that you're like, I'm going to go to the arcade and play the Sega arcade games. And my brain's like, dude, I'm going straight to the cabaret. all those girls that I made look super pretty, I'm going to go chill with them.
No, you can't, because that was not in Kamurocho. That was in Sotenbori.
Oh, you're right.
Got him.
It's a train away.
But that's not the question.
Well, just when you think you have all the answers, I change the questions.
What about you, Jeff? Which pill are you taking here?
Well, I'm definitely taking blue pill just for Lindblom alone.
Yeah. All right.
Lindblom is fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. All right, now we're on to this week's questions. Our first one comes in from Kana. And what is your favorite Western?
Do I go old school or do I go modern?
You can do one of each if you want to. We make the rules here, baby.
This is true. So my favorite old school Western, believe it or not, is actually not Clint Eastwood. It is called Silverado. It stars Kevin Kline. It has Jeff Goldblum, Kevin Costner, Danny Glover. It's got some big name actors.
Yeah, it sounds
it's
like
just
it.
this fun 80s spaghetti Western. It's a lot of fun. Modern, I'm going to have to go with No Country for Old Men.
Nice.
As silly as this sounds, dude, when I used to go get Bud from the old man I used to get it from, he always had on MeTV. So I have seen so much Bonanza and the Rifleman that, like, I love that shit, dude. I love Bonanza. That's a genuinely funny show.
Yeah, I remember watching some Bonanza back in the day.
I'll say that those are my favorite Westerns because, like, I've seen some, like, Western movies, and usually they're pretty good. I can't remember the names of any of them.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the ones that I can remember the names of, and it's Bonanza and the Rifleman. That's good old classic television.
Yeah, for sure. Westerns were more my dad's thing, so I didn't watch a whole lot of them because, you know, you never like the same shit your dad likes. But one of my favorite Westerns of all time is honestly not even a TV show or movie. It's actually an album. So Redheaded Stranger by Willie Nelson, that entire album is a Western in and of itself. Like, it's a story-based album. It's like cohesive the whole way through. It's a really cool concept album. I love that album a lot. It came out in 1975. If I want to pick a movie, this might be cheating, and I haven't seen this in years, so it probably does not hold up. But Shanghai Noon, anybody?
Oh
Hell
my
yeah.
God. I forgot about that. And then the
Jackie
sequel,
Chan.
Shanghai Nights.
Yep. But if I'm going to pick a serious movie, probably 310 to Yuma. That's a really good movie. And I'm talking about the remake
That's a good
from
movie.
2007 that had Russell Crowe and Christian Bale in it. Like, I thought they did a great job with the remake.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Yeah. All right. So, from Kana, how many times did you accidentally kill your horse?
Too many.
I have yet to kill a horse that I own.
Oh man, at least a couple times. I haven't killed Kintaro yet, which has been nice. I did kill Roach on accident. Roach went careening off the side of a cliff because he decided to not heal and stop. So that ended badly. My Arthur didn't die for some reason. Like, he hit the ground and almost died, but my horse was like kaput.
Aw, gotcha.
So.
This next... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Quick fun anecdote just from Factory Sealed when I listened to them talk about it. Eric had a thing that he would do where he would whistle and see which direction his horse was coming from and just start firing bullets in that direction. And if the horse died, it wasn't worth it. If the horse makes it to him, it was worth it.
Good God. All right, man. All right, this next one's from Jeff because he's a dick. Which was more traumatizing? The death of Mufasa or Littlefoot's mom?
Oh my God.
So I'm going to say Littlefoot's mom because even when I was a little kid, first time watching Lion King, I found Mufasa's death a little amusing.
Scar, brother.
He throws him off. It's a weird cut of Simba be like, no! And with Littlefoot's mom, it actually focuses on them for a long time, just slowly listening to her die. And it's just like, damn you, Don Bluth.
Don Bluth's an asshole. Honestly, for me, the difference is I can remember Mufasa's name. Mufasa's was more traumatizing to me.
Well, I even stated in the question, Littlefoot's mom. She doesn't have a name.
Oh, man. Both of these are traumatic from my childhood.
Yeah.
If I had to give an answer, what was more traumatizing? The answer is The Fox and the Hound. But between these... Hey, kitty. Between these two, I think I'm going to have to go with... I think Mufasa. And I think it's because I got a chance to see Lion King once in IMAX. So, like, seeing that death on the screen as big as a building was pretty fucking sad, man. But that death for Littlefoot, or his dude, that's also like, what kind of question is this, you sadistic fuck?
Yeah, right.
Well, it's actually kind of funny because now this just memory popped into my mind as well, because I saw the movie, and then I think the following summer, my family went to Disneyland. So we ended up, I don't know where, but we ended up seeing like this puppet show version of the Lion King, and the puppet of Simba just had this big old grin on his face. So you have this really emotional scene, and yet the puppet is just like,
that's funny.
What am I supposed to do?
Ugh.
Just like, oh, so I guess you could say it desensitized the emotions.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. This next one is also from our good friend Jeff. Your favorite 2004 video game. The choices are Grand Theft Auto, San Andreas, Fable, Rome, Total War, Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, Half-Life 2, Chronicles of Riddick, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, Star Wars, Knights 2, Halo 2, Unreal Tournament 2004, Far Cry, Doom 3, Counter-Strike, Need for Speed Underground 2, World of Warcraft, Sims 2, Thief Deadly Shadows, Dawn of War, and Painkiller. So
this answer may surprise you.
Yep.
You gotta pick one. This answer may surprise you because I put a lot of time into this game. Sims 2.
Ah, okay. I didn't peg you as a Sims guy. Nice.
Sims are such a good series. I love the Sims. They're predatory as fuck with their DLC, but pirate that shit. So
yeah, for me, 2004 was not really a peak gaming year for me. I would have been honestly junior to senior in high school at this point. Like if we were talking fall, I'd been a senior in high school and I was not playing a lot of video games at that point. But this list, I did not play hardly any of these, but based on the series, I'm going to make a guess for which one I would like the best and say Halo 2. I'm going to go Halo 2 here.
It's a good game. Good game.
About you, Dalton.
It's a great game. It's a great game. Fuck. Dude, okay. Let me try to narrow this down real quick. Grand Theft Auto, Fable, Metal Gear, Masquerade, Halo 2, Far Cry, Counter-Strike, Need for Speed, World of...
Fuck! You narrowed it down to 10. Congratulations.
Metal Gear 3 is not my favorite Metal Gear. San Andreas is not my... Well...
It's not my favorite.
I've played better games. I've played better games than Fable, but I do like Fable a lot. I've played... I like The Sims 3 better than I like The Sims 2. I really like Halo 2, but you picked that one, so I'm going to pick something different. The original Far Cry that I played wasn't the original Far Cry. It was the weird version they did for Xbox. I'm going Counter-Strike.
Wow, okay.
All
right. This next one, Jeff, you might have to clarify for me a little bit. One has to go. Pizza, ribs, cheesesteaks, and are those dry wings?
I don't know why I said dry.
You didn't. It was a picture.
No, it was a picture. I thought they were like chicken wings, but the more I spread that picture, people are saying, no, those are tenders.
Oh, okay, so those are tenders.
Oh, I love tenders, dude.
But for me, it's...
Yeah, go ahead.
It's easy. Goodbye cheesesteak.
See, for me, like... I like all of these foods. If those are tenders, then yeah, I don't want to get rid of them. If they were just dry wings, I would have said that. But for this, I'm honestly going to go ribs. Just because it's a process to make ribs. It's a process to eat ribs. Like, ribs are just difficult in general. They're delicious, but I can live without them for the pizza, cheesesteak, and tendies.
That answer could change if we eat Dalton's ribs.
So if those are if they're wings, then I'm getting rid of wings. If those are chicken tenders, though, then I have to get rid of cheesesteak because there are a plethora of other sandwiches that I really like. There are a lot of chicken dishes that I like, but dude, some chicken tenders dipped in some good ass honey mustard, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for my own ribs. Well, I really am. Like, I hate to toot my own horn, but toot, they're fucking good.
That's fair, man. That's fair.
And pizza, come on, it's pizza.
All right.
Even bad pizza fills the hole.
Yeah, exactly. It fills the hole and heals your soul.
There you go.
Race Hell, Praise Dale. All right. This next question comes in. Sorry, Dalton. This next question comes in from Jeff, and it's another blue pill, red pill. For blue, you get Mario, Mortal Kombat, Call of Duty, Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Uncharted, Metroid, Silent Hill, Saints Row, World of Warcraft, Zelda, Elder Scrolls, and Pokemon. For the red pill, you get Sonic, Street Fighter, Battlefield, Spyro, Ratchet and Clank, Tomb Raider, Halo, Resident Evil, Grand Theft Auto, League of Legends, Final Fantasy, Fallout, and Monster Hunter.
This is a question specifically to piss me off. I know it is. You did this specifically to fuck with me.
Well, I'm screwing myself as well because I actually had to do the math of the games which I would rather play, and the math goes in favor of Blue Pill, even though I love Final Fantasy, I love Fallout, and I love Spyro. But the math puts it in favor of the Blue Pill.
See, for me, looking through this, because they were kind of paired up with each other in a way that made them kind of compare, I thought that this one was really well laid out because it was comparing Sonic to Mario, Street Fighter to Mortal Kombat. So for me, I'm weird and alone in this opinion, but I do prefer Sonic games to Mario games. I do like Street Fighter a lot more than I like Mortal Kombat. I don't care a shit about Call of Duty or Battlefield. Spyro to me is better than Crash. Yeah, and Resident Evil I take over Silent Hill. Some of them I don't care about. The ones I'm gonna miss out of blue, honestly, are Mario, Zelda, and Pokemon. I'm taking red.
Here's what makes this hard for me. It's Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter.
Yeah.
I really fucking like both of those games. In fact, I really should put some money aside to buy the new Ratchet and Clank game on Steam since they were nice enough to release it on Steam. But oh man, I really like Jak and Daxter. At least the first one. I never played 2 and 3. I know they changed up their styles, but that first Jak and Daxter game is really good. And I want them to do a remaster of it and put that shit out on PC. Do it like you did the Crash games. Give it to that developer. Let them remaster Jak 1, 2, and 3. If you want to throw Jak Combat Racing in there, do that too. Fuck it, why not? And just release it. People, it will print money. Nostalgia prints money. Just do it! And then do some collections of Ratchet and Clank, release those on Steam, make me a happy boy. I'm trying to speak this into existence like we tend to do on this show. So, come on, Gabe. Give it to us. Oh, yeah. I'm going Blue Pill, though. I'm going Blue Pill, mainly because of Mortal Kombat, Elder Scrolls, and Pokemon.
Fair enough. All right.
That's shocking. I thought for sure Tomb Raider, Final Fantasy, and Fallout would sway you.
I do love Tomb Raider, man, but Uncharted is also really good.
Right. This next one comes in from Adam. Who's your video game crush? Well, I think I know Jeff's.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say it. Everyone knows it.
Good old Crystal.
Hey, if there it is. I was going to say, if you want to guess, just say it in the show chat channel.
Yep.
Yeah. Who's Jeff's crush? Everyone will answer.
It's Crystal.
Yeah, mine has been the same since I was a young, impressionable child. Chun-Li from Street Fighter.
I don't know. Oh, Captain Thick Thighs.
Oh, yeah. Thick Thighs save lives.
Oh, yeah.
Mine has changed over the years, but I'm going with the classic, the girl who's always had my heart, and that would be Lara Croft.
There you go.
From Tomb Raider. But followed very closely by Rinoa from Final Fantasy VIII.
I did like her a lot, too. All right.
Top!
So this next one from Adam. What is a mechanic you hate in games you otherwise love? For example, shitty card games and RPGs.
If he's insinuating that Tetramaster is a terrible card game, Adam, we need to talk. We need to have a discussion.
Triple Triad is better.
Mechanic I hate in a game.
Mechanic that you hate in games you otherwise love. Well, where would the mechanic come in something other than games? Or are you saying I hate it in one game but love it in another game?
I think he's kind of basically just talking about some kind of mechanic in a game that you just didn't like, but you liked the game otherwise, is kind of what I'm...
Oh, okay. A mechanic in... Okay, now that you said that and I'm reading it again, you are 100% correct. All right. I really love Stardew Valley. I think the fishing mechanic in that game is bullshit.
Mm.
It is pretty bad fishing. I still don't understand it.
It's so fucking hard to the point that I downloaded a mod that just makes it easy. And it's like, I'll make everything else in that game can be hard. Just give me that easy fishing though, because fuck that fishing minigame.
Here's mine, and this might be a cop-out or whatever, but I don't think it is. Games I don't understand in the Yakuza series. I do not know how to play Mahjong. I do not know how to play all these games. I don't really want to learn. Just don't make me do it.
Yeah. Anytime that they're like, okay, like in Red Dead, I never really fucked with dominoes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to play dominoes. I don't understand dominoes. So I was just like, nah.
Dominoes is fun.
I like dominoes, but it's okay.
I like setting them up and knocking them down.
A mechanic I hate and a game I love. I'm not sure if this is a cop-out, but fuck you, Adam. It is the time-based missions in Borderlands.
Mm.
You'll experience this in the second game. They require like a few attempts because it's one of those things of you have to memorize a route in order for you to succeed in getting passing the time. Because the amount of time, you have just enough time to do everything if you choose the correct route.
Yeah. Yeah, time missions like that in games, that does kind of blow. I feel you. All right, this next one is just for Dalton, and it's from Adam. How is the new Tomb Raider game, Dalton?
Man. So I touched on this a little bit earlier, but to go a little more in depth about it, the way that they touched up everything is just, wow, it is so fantastic the way that it looks. And it's exactly how you remember it, right? Like the little details, the layouts, the secrets are in the same places. Like I was disappointed in myself when I beat the first level of the original Tomb Raider. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I beat the first level of Tomb Raider. I only found one of the 3 secrets. But that little bring, like, oh, it just sends goodness through my veins. It's tremendous. It's worth the money. It's $10 per game. And if you catch it on a sale or something like that, that's even better. It's the good shit. That's end of story. It's the good shit. Play it. It's fucking tremendous. If you played the original games, it is well worth your time. Nostalgia sells.
Yeah. All right. Next one is from Fenris. Before a really weird one from Fenris, but here comes this one. If you were given the Ring of Power, would you keep it or find a way to destroy it?
I find a way to destroy it because the longer I have the ring, it slowly kills me, and I'll have people or the wraiths hunting me down every second until they kill me. So it's just like, I'll destroy the ring or find a way. Yeah,
I think finding a way to destroy it is the only answer, really. But to keep it from corrupting me while I had the ring, I would probably tie it to a dog, put it on a dog on a leash so I don't have to actually touch and be in contact with the leash so it doesn't corrupt me. It's just going to corrupt that poor dog, but
My precious. So my ass is not walking into a volcano, first and foremost.
That's what the dog's for.
That is not going to happen. It's not going to. I love dogs. I would rather put that on a fucking person and send them in there, right? So here's my thing. I'm going to take that ring. I'm going to walk down to the nearest river, and I'm going to chuck that fucker in the river. And it can float down, or it can sink, whatever it wants to do, and whoever finds it is now their problem. Like, I am not the protagonist of that story. I am. That's a lot of walking. And my name's not Christopher.
Fair enough. All right, you guys ready for this one? From Fenris. Yeah. I just had my gasts completely flabbered, and it made me want to ask.
First of all, that's tremendous. I love that. I'm going to use that. Had my gas completely flabbered like that. I like that.
If your significant other was not able to bathe themselves due to a broken arm and amazing pain meds or whatever, how would you feel if their mother wouldn't let you do it? If their mother put their hands on your person's genitals to bathe them, would you be okay with that? Absolutely not. I've been married since 2012. My mother-in-law is not allowed near my wife. I'm just going to put it that way.
I don't know if I should answer this question.
That's fair. You can abstain.
Hey, yeah, you're allowed to abstain. You're fine. I think if her mother was straight up like, no, you can't do it, I would be like, ma'am, with all due respect, I've eaten your daughter's asshole. Like, I think I can clean her. Like, it'll be fine. If it was a situation, what the fuck? I can't think of a situation where it's like, nah, I just let them.
No, me neither.
No, that's just weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just weird. Unless I was also in the wreck and I need my balls cleaned too, and at that point, it's like, well, I mean, your mom can do that too if you want.
All right. And then the last one we have is from Kana. Have you ever been inspired by an anime? If so, which one and how? Kana says they were inspired by Chainsaw Man because, like Denji, she also wants to touch some boobs. So, I'm not a big anime guy. I think that's pretty clear from how much I've talked about anime on this show, which is hardly any. But if I were to say, like, I do think that younger and impressionable me was inspired a little bit by, like, shows like Dragon Ball to want to get into shape and lift weights and things like that. 'Cause, like, Dragon Ball Z, you just who doesn't want to look like Goku? I mean, come on.
I was always a Vegeta guy, but I get what you're saying. Inspired by an anime. I'll tell you this. I was pretty freaking depressed a couple months ago, probably like 4 or 5 months ago. Was having some issues. And something that brought me out of it was watching the first season of Konosuba. That show was just the perfect mix of entertaining and absolutely fucking hilarious, but with a good story. And I really enjoyed it, and it made me openly laugh out loud. And it was much needed at the time. So I guess that inspired me to feel better. So I'll give it to Konosuba.
I guess this answer is pretty stupid, but I was inspired by One Punch Man because he made it okay. What he told me is life is okay to be bored, or it's okay if life is boring.
I think it's a really good point. I agree that it is okay if life's a little boring because, speaking for myself, I had a pretty rough 3 years and it's starting to be boring again, and it's kind of nice.
Yeah, I can feel that. I really want a nice boring desk job. Like my knees are like, bruh, it's time for you to find a fucking desk job. But that's a conversation for a podcast that needs to come back so I can vent.
Fair enough.
You got a lot of material you need to vent.
Oh, the Yaz pod when me and Jeremy come back is probably gonna be a long one.
Yeah, I can only imagine. All right, that's it.
Oh yeah, I'm like, that's a weird question. Oh, never mind. I was like, that's the verse for that song we were talking about earlier. All right, well then. Ew. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong page. Damn. Okay, there we go. If you would do us a favor and go give us an iTunes or a Spotify review, that would mean a shitload. It helps us out a lot. If you drop us a 5-star review on iTunes, puts us higher up in the algorithm, leave a comment on there. I do check them every now and then and read them out on the show. If you want to join the Discord, that's where all the cool stuff happens. I don't even plug social medias anymore. The Discord is where it's at. bit.ly/TSMP Discord, all capital letters. That will take you to a link that will give you an invite to the Discord. Come join. We get to do our... Oh, excuse me. You get to come and vote on the fan polls and all that type of stuff. The winner of the one going right now... this is closer than I thought. This is closer than the last time I looked. It is... Monster Hunter World is still ahead, but only by 1.
Wow, okay.
Trailing right behind it at 6 votes instead of 7 is Jet Set Radio. So that is an interesting dynamic between those two. Those are two completely different
Absolutely.
games. But the last winner was Mega Dimension Neptunia 7. oh my goodness, I said 7. It's not 7. Mega Dimension Neptunia Victory 2, but it's V2. So I always look at that and my brain goes, oh yeah, Roman numeral 7, because that's what everyone thinks when they look at that. Anyways, that's a rant for when that episode comes up. And that'll be the episode after our next episode, which is going to be Willie's pick, but we've lost Willie at some point throughout this episode, so who knows what that's going to be. We'll find out eventually.
My host pick for the next game, I wanted to do something a little bit smaller so we could have more time to play Red Dead together as a group. So my pick for the next game is I'm on Observation Duty 4. It's a fun game. It's something that's not quite a horror game, but it's like horror adjacent, so it wouldn't quite have made sense as a October game, but I think you'll have a good time with it.
But yeah, then you can come vote on the short game poll, which the last winner of that was Sega Bass Fishing. Yeah, buddy, that's going to be raw. And the next poll of the game is up. The winner for that going at the moment, or not the winner, but the winning vote right now is Arcana Heart 3 Love Max, which is a waifu fighter. Should be pretty fun. It's just a fighting game with all girls. And it's interesting. It's not a bad game. I'll give it that. It's not a bad game. And then the retro game poll that is up right now, the leading one on that one is Legend of the River King for the Game Boy Color. It's another fishing game. We love our fishing games here at the Steam Machine Podcast.
Sure do.
Yeah.
We do.
And there's all kinds of other chats that you can come in and join in on the fun. We'll make you laugh. It'll be a good time. Other than that, you want to check out the website, which is kept up to date by Dane. It is bit.ly/the Steam Machine Podcast. Capitalize that phonetically and you'll be fine. If you want to give us some money, which would be very helpful to me, it helps me keep the lights on and all of that good jazz. It really does help a lot. Patreon.com/the Steam Machine Podcast. $1 or more a month will get you the episodes early, ad-free, and you get to hear our little banter in the beginning that is just for the Patreon listeners. And it has its own RSS feed, which you can find on Patreon. If you have trouble finding it, just let me know. I'll hook you up with it. And if you donate $10 or more a month, you get all of that, plus your name read out on each and every episode, like these wonderful people right here. Nate Sir Cogsworth, the 7th of June-iper, Jeff, the original Expendable, Mr. Syllables, Old Jeffy, Lube, El Jefe himself, Ariesoradam, shout out to his podcast, Revival and Extinction, Team Retrogue. Go check him out over on YouTube and the JRPG Report. Mr. Puzzles, Dane himself, Chad, the Mad Lad, no goddamn C, and his last name, Shaffer. And I thank each and every one of you guys very much. It means a lot to me that you like the show enough that you want to donate to it. It means the world. Shout out to Yabs Pod, yet another BS podcast. You can find the archive on wherever you get your podcasts, and it will come back eventually whenever me and Jeremy both find the time. Shout out to the JRPG Report, which is a bi-weekly JRPG, news show. Anything coming out of Japan, me and Mikola are going to tell you about it. Come check us out over there. You want to get a shirt? tsmpproductions.threadless.com. If you like the music, nilethenightmare.bandcamp.com. And again, please leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Do either of you boys have something you want to plug?
No.
Hey, this is Willie. I really love hog tying people.
All right, then, mate. Well, I don't know what our next game's going to be. So I guess come join the Discord and tune into the TSMP show chat channel. Or the announcement channel, I suppose, and we'll get that out there. Other than that, it's like a mystery gift. It's like a mystery key when you buy it off of Fanatical. You don't know what you're going to get. So maybe in 2 weeks, you click that little button and find out what the key is, eh? And until next time, everybody, do me a big old favor. That's the ending for the JRPG Report. Take it easy.
Well, the raven is a wicked bird, his wings are black as sin, and he floats outside my prison window, mocking those within. And he sings to me real low, to hell to where you go. For you did murder Kate McCannon. First met Tom McCannon, was working in the mines. Said he had himself a dark-haired daughter with long green eyes. And when she and I did meet, she was bathing in the creek. Prettiest girl in the whole damn holler, that ain't no lie. So I went to courting Kate McCannon. Got me a job and I quit my rambling. And every day I'd save a quarter of my pay. I could buy the diamond ring. Lord, and one day I come home to find my darling angel's not inside. So I made for the creek where she and I did meet. And found her with some other lover. Into Kate McCannon.